Today's video is to review you for quiz 6-1, which covers lesson 6.1 and 6.3. Question number 1 is going to give you a circle much like this, where it may tell you which point is the center. This one is the center is at N. And then it's going to ask you to name the following parts of the circle. Okay, so let me go ahead and zoom out so that you can see all the parts and the circle all at once. So they want you to name the tangent. Remember that the tangent only touches the circle once. So my tangent would be this line right up here, and I would name it using any of the two letters on that line. I like to use the first one and the last one. So I would call this one HJ. A secant is a line that goes through the circle. A secant is a line that goes through the circle and touches it twice. So this right here would be my secant, and I'm going to name it by these 2 points, Q and R. All right, the radius of my circle, I can always find my radius by finding the center and then going out towards the circle. So here is a radius, there is a radius, and here is a radius. I'm going to go ahead and use the first one because it is the first one that I saw, but I just need to start with the radius at the center and move out towards the circle. A chord goes through my circle and touches it twice, but it never touches the center. So here would be my chord. Here would be my chord. Now technically, from just Q to just R is a chord as well, but I'm going to go ahead and use this one because it is not also a secant. Okay, so that's why I'm picking that one, but QR would be correct as well. The point of tangency. So the point of tangency, notice that this and this kind of look the same. So I'm going back to my tangent line, and which one of these 3 points does it touch the circle at? It touches at K, so that would be my point of tangency. That's it for the first page. Let's go ahead and take a look at question number 2. So question number 2 is going to give you a picture like this, and it's going to ask you to solve some questions. So this one asks us to find the value of x. If you notice, there's x, and here is another tangent. This 2x minus 13 is on this tangent, and then there's a tangent down here, and they both intersect at A. There was a theorem that says if there's two tangents intersecting at a common point, then these tangents are congruent. So I'm going to go ahead and say this and this are equal, and I'm going to go ahead and set up that equation and solve. And this is going to give me my value of x. I'm going to add my 13, and that gives me 2x is equal to 61. I'm going to divide by 2, and I'm going to go ahead and put 30.5. If you do get a decimal, go ahead and put it. Go ahead and put it in the quiz today. I've made certain that the decimals will do this. They will terminate, so 0.5, 0.25, if you get a decimal at all. All right, the next question is asking for me to find CD. It's asking for me to find CD. So let me grab my highlighter. There's C to D. Okay, so here is a tangent. C to D is a radius of my circle because notice I've called the circle C. So that means this is the center. So that makes this a radius. It also makes this a radius, just for your general knowledge. But there was a theorem that says when I have a tangent that intersects the radius, they are perpendicular to each other, which makes a 90 degree. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add that in there. And then if you look right here, you have a right triangle. You know 2 of the sides. You can use the Pythagorean theorem to find the third. So I'm going to do let me make my marker bigger. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at my triangle, and let me make it a little bit darker over here so that we can focus on it. Which one is C, the hypotenuse? Well, it's always going to be the one that doesn't have the 90 degrees. So there it is. There's C, my hypotenuse. And then I can go ahead and call this A, and I can call this B, and I'm going to go ahead and call it R because it is the radius. So I'm going to have 48, and I'm going to square it, 48 times 48, and this is R squared, or R times R, and this one is 52 squared, 52 times 52. So 48 times 48 is 2,304. R squared is R squared, and 52 times 52 is 2,700. Oh no, come on. And 4. There we go. Because my two numbers are opposite each other, they are on either side of the equal sign. The equal sign is right between them. I am going to have to subtract. If they were together, I would add them. If they were together on the same side, I would add them. And that's 400. And the last step of the Pythagorean theorem is to take the square root. So the square root of 400 is 20. I don't know why my marker doesn't want to work. Okay, since CD is the radius, we have it ready. The diameter is twice of that. So 20 plus 20, my diameter is 40. All right, let's take a look at question number 3. Question number 3 has a circle and it asks me to find each of the following. I want you to keep in mind two things. The total number of degrees in my circle is 360 degrees. So if I were to start at any point and go all the way around, I would have 360 degrees. I also want you to remember that a semicircle is half of a circle, which is 180 degrees, 360 divided by 2. You can identify a semicircle by finding the diameter. You can find the diameter by finding the center and then going to both ends. So there is my diameter, which means this is a semicircle up above, and that is a semicircle down below. So what this means is I have two options to help me find x. I can go all the way around the circle, 360 degrees, or I could just go halfway around the circle, 180 degrees. I'm going to do 180 because it's going to be faster. So I'm going to go ahead and go around this way, okay, just to show you which 180 I did. But remember, the other way is 180 as well. What this means is I can take the x and I can add the 2x plus 120 and say it equals 180. Well, x plus 2x is 3x. I just combine my like terms, right? Just combine my like terms. If I subtract my 120, I'm running out of space, guys. I'm sorry, I'm going to squeeze it in here. It gives me 60. And if I divide that by 3, I get x equals 20. Now all I have to do to answer my questions is to go back and plug this in. So I'm going to find the letters AOB, which is x. X is 20. So my answer is 20 degrees. BOC, it's 4x. So I'm going to do 4 times 20, 80. I did 4 times 20. COD, 2x plus 60. 2x plus 60. That would be 100. I'm just putting it in my calculator. And the last one, AOD, would be 2x plus 120. So 2 times 20 plus 120, and that would give me 160 degrees. Now, just to be certain that I have all these answers correct, I could go ahead and just add all of these numbers up, and they should give me the 360 degrees of my circle. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the last two questions. In question number 4, they're going to ask you to find the measure of an arc. This arc that they're asking me to find is from A to C. This is the arc they want me to find. I'm going to go ahead and highlight it. Use my highlighter. This is what they're asking me to find. What I am noticing is that I have two equal chords. I have two equal chords. Since the chords are equal, we learned in the last lesson, the arcs are equal. Remember the total degrees, if I go all the way around my circle, is 360 degrees. So I'm going to take 360, the whole circle, and I'm going to take away the 130 that they say is right here from A to B. That would leave me with 230 degrees. This 230 degrees is all of this. Since these two arcs are the same, all I have to do is divide 230 by 2 to get my final answer of 115 degrees. All right, the last question on your quiz today is going to look something like this. Now remember, when we see a diameter that is perpendicular to a chord, these two pieces of the chord are congruent. That's what the theorem says. So P to this point right here is equal from R to that point right there at the 90 degrees, which means all I have to do is say 9x minus 3 equals 7x plus 5. This time I'm going to go ahead and mind my equal sign. I'm going to move the 7x to the other side. I like to keep it positive as much as possible. I'm going to add the 3 next. And last, I'm going to just go ahead and divide by 2. I'm going to go back and read because I didn't read the instructions. Find the value of x. I am done with the problem. Good luck, everybody.